Shalom, call law, all praises unto Yahawah, Ba'Shem, Yahawash. Much love to the priests, prophets, elders, and the brothers and sisters in this truth. Shalom. I want to go into this lesson real quick, and it's going to be entitled "The Most High." Somewhere along the line where it says the Most High uses the nation of Israel or the heathen nations as his swords of judgment. Somewhere along that line, like I said. Now let me go ahead and go right into it real quick. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahawah, do all these things. The Most High God, Yahawah, does all these things. He's the one that forms the light and creates darkness. He's the one that creates evil times and peaceful times. He's the Lord Yahawah, the one above all, okay? He does all these things, okay? Just want to get that straight, okay? Now, let me go ahead and get, let me expound. Because he doesn't have to get off his throne. He has his angels that control this particular realm that we're in right now, okay? The different spirits that control the different elements of the tangible world that we're in right now. They're in the intangible world, which is the spiritual world, okay? Now let me go. He uses them to bring forth the judgment. That's how he uses them through us through them to bring forth his judgment. Let me go ahead and bring out a quick precept to that, some precepts to that, just real quick. Because scripture says prove all things, and that's what we do at Sakari Set. You know what I'm saying? We prove all things. We have precepts to back up our talk or back up what we say biblically, scripturally. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and get. All right, this is 1 Kings. It's a lot. This is 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. And it reads, and he said, actually, I'm gonna start at verse 18. This is 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 18. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, do I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord Yahawah. I said, the Lord sitting on his throne, okay, on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right and his left hand, the right hand and his left hand, which shows balance according to Proverbs 11:1. Okay. The Most High, it's false balance, unjust weight, because you have the righteous spirits on the right hand and the wicked spirits on the left, right? And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. Basically, going out and being and pretty much discussing how they should do it. You know what I'm saying? And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. And it's like, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Okay. So that just gives you a clear understanding that the Lord controls both sides, man. He controls the good and the righteous. He allows the spirits to do what they do to bring forth their judgment. Okay. And that's also showing you how he's the master chess player. He has his pieces on the chessboard, but he is the master. He's the one in control. He's the master. All right. Let me go ahead and get 1 Samuel real quick. Or you know what? So before I get that, let me get something out of the Apocrypha. This is this Apocrypha. Let me get Sirach chapter 30, chapter 39. Sirach Sirach chapter 39, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, right? Just like we read in this particular chapter in 2 Kings, right? Or 1 Kings, the 22nd chapter, right? Where the Lord had spirits, right? The spirits can do whatever, they're just, speaking on how they should go about certain things, right? There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them, right? And that's just giving you an understanding that the Lord controls these spirits that work in people. Or because it reads down, talks about whether it be sword, famine, beast, pestilence, men, natural disasters. The Most High has those spirits to do what they do, like I said before, using us through them to rectify his judgment. Now let me go ahead and in him alone, okay? But let me go ahead and bring out. Let me get Psalms, 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the ground and bringeth up. So this is clear cut, plain to the point. The most High is the one that killeth and he maketh alive. He's the one that bringeth forth to the grave. In other words, destroy and put people into hell, which hell is the grave. Sheol, put them into the grave, right? And he's the one that raises people up alive, man. However, which way that may be, okay? Whether it be figuratively or literally. Now, let me go ahead and get something real quick, right? Because, the Most High, he's the one. He's the Lord above all, okay? He's the one that Salah. He's the one that is the supreme God, supreme power, the supreme Allah. Because there's Allah is singular for power, and Allah Hayyam, Yam is plural, which means powers. Okay, so there are multiple gods, but the Most High is the main God. But let me go ahead and let me be quiet. Let me bring out the scripture real quick. It's Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. All right. So it's letting you know right here. Okay, he's the only power, and there's no God with him. Yes, sir, like I said, there's other gods, other powers, other Elohim, Elohims. There's other powers, but there's not one with him, including Yahawah. Okay, including Yahawah. Yahawah is below the Most High. All right, as well as the other angels, man, and also too, us being gods too. The nation of Israel, we are as gods, and also too the house of David, which is 144,000, the elect, the tabernacle of David, they're gods. Zechariah 12 and 8, okay, which talks about them will be as gods in that day, right? But pretty much the verse is plain cut to the point, okay? He is the God. He's the supreme power. Now let me go ahead and bring out a precept to further that understanding real quick. All right, this is the book of Psalm, chapter 95, verse 2. Let us come. Actually, let me skip down to verse 3. Psalm chapter 95, verse 3. For the Lord Yahawah is a great God, great power, and a great king above all gods. Okay, so he's above all gods. He's above all the powers, all the Elohims. Okay, he is the supreme power, Elohim, God above all the other gods, which is all the other angels. Okay, which include the elect, the angels, and Yahawah. Okay. Let me go ahead and get into Psalm chapter 17, Actually, let me go back into Deuteronomy 32 real quick. There's more edification in there real quick. You know, just getting to the point of Israel, okay? Because he uses Israel as a sword, okay? Actually, yeah. Yeah, let me read that. Let me go ahead and read this. Deuteronomy chapter 32, and I'm going to skip down to verse 41. If I whet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and reward them that hate me. Right. The Most High will reward them that hate him, man. Okay. Verse 42, I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with blood of the slain of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemies. Rejoice ye, O nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants and will render vengeance to his adversaries. And I will be merciful unto his land and to his people. Okay, so the Most High, he'll use the nation of Israel as his sword, man. Okay, he'll use us as his swords. And actually, let me go ahead and get a precept to further that understanding in that verse real quick. Let me go ahead and get this real quick. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. Okay? So that's plain cutting to the point, man. He'll use us as his battle axe and weapons of war. He doesn't have to get off the throne. He's going to put the spirit and give us his power to do these great works, man. Destroy and break in pieces the nations, man. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and its rider, and with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. Verse 22, with thee also I will break in pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces old and young, and with thee I will break in pieces the young and the maid. And will also, verse 23, and will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee I will break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. With thee I will break in pieces the captains and the rulers. Okay, so that's the power that the Lord is going to give, you know what I'm saying, unto the elect, you know what I'm saying, to do so. Uses us as his battle axes and weapons of war, you know what I'm saying? And he's not only the elect, but he's done that in the past, man. Okay, now let me go ahead and go to get to the point of the heathens real quick. All right, because he, you know, the Most High, he uses whoever he wants, however he wants, you know what I'm saying, to bring forth judgment, bring forth chastisement. Okay, now this is the book of Psalm chapter 17 verse 13. Arise, O Lord Yahawah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And that comes in various different empires. You can go down to the Canaanites, okay, the Midianites, the Moab, Ammon, Assyria, Babylon, Persians, the Persians and the Medes, the Greeks and the Romans, the Edomites, okay? You know what I'm saying? He has used various nations against Israel as their sword, okay? Let me get you some more scriptures just to edify that point. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation, right? The staff of his indignation is righteous anger, which will lead forth to judgment, right? The Assyrian, and it says, O Assyrian, a heathen nation, okay? Back then, verse 6, I will send him against an hypocritical nation, which was us, which is still us at this time, and against the people of my wrath will I give him charge, and take the spoil, and to take the prey, and tread them down like the mire of the streets, which they did unto Samaria, in particular the northern kingdom. Okay, back then during that time. But this is giving you an example that the Lord will use a heathen nation to bring forth his judgment and his wrath upon us. Okay. Now let me go ahead and get one more scripture real quick. I'm gonna close out. All right, this is the book of. I'm back in the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah to his anointed, to Cyrus. And if you don't know who Cyrus is, Cyrus was a great Persian king of the Persian Empire, man. One of the greatest empires to ever exist. And actually during that time, it was thought to be foolish and crazy, just like how America is now. It was foolish and crazy for you to go up against the Persian Empire back then. You were thought to be a psychopath to think to go up against them. Okay, but this is one of the prominent, Cyrus the Great, one of the prominent rulers, okay, in history, the Persian Empire. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden to subdue the nations before him, and I will loose the loins of kings to open before him the two leavened gates, and the gates shall not be shut. I will I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight, and I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of the secret place, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which called thee by thy name, by thy name, and the God of Israel. Okay, so the Most High, he used King Cyrus, okay, to subdue nations and gave him all the treasures, man. He used him to subdue and break in pieces these nations, man. You know what I'm saying? This is, like I said, this was a prominent, prominent ruler in the Persian Empire, man. I believe, yeah, the father of Xerxes, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this proves that the Lord uses uses either us or different nations to break in pieces other nations, or to rectify his judgment and his establish what he wants, man. Okay. Well, with that said, man, hopefully you brothers was satisfied. So Rayabya Bungab, back with another lesson. So, and I will be back with another one in due time. With that said, Shalom.